Hey everybody, I'm Oakley at Oakley Does Everything.
Hi, I'm Mavrick Vo, and I'm from StreetNerds Productions.
And this is Maker's Market. Stay tuned. Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
good.
Good. I can hear you just fine. How are you?
Good.
Good. Well, thanks for doing this. I very much appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. So for those of you that don't know, this is Mavrick Vo. Maverick, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Mavrick Vo, and I am the owner of StreetNerds Productions. I'm an actor, director, and producer. StreetNerds Productions, we do a lot of live action fan films, comic books, um, video games, and an anime. So yeah.
Anime. Tell us a little bit about the anime.
So live action anime that we have done is Naruto, which
Okay.
is one of our most popular ones they have going on. We have, I think, 61,000 views. So really excited about that. And then pretty soon we're making our original series, which it is called Argent Assassin, and we're really excited about that as well. It's like a supernatural. It's like a live action supernatural film. Television series.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to releasing that pretty soon this year.
Awesome. Cool. Well, again, thanks for joining me. For those of you that are new to the series or to either of our YouTube channels, my name is Oakley from Oakley Does Everything. And again, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're coming from my channel, make sure to go hit up Mavrick's YouTube channel, which is Street Nerd Productions, and as well as any other social media stuff that they have. But we'll cover that at the end of the video. But yeah, subscribe to both these channels. That would be awesome. So let's dig into a little bit about you and the stuff you do. Like, how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for almost 5 years now. So film wise, but through theater productions, I have done it since I was in middle school. So probably a good 8 to 9 years already.
Yeah.
So, but definitely theater led me up to where I am now, which is filmmaking. So yeah.
Nice. Very good. And you, from what I know, you've done all kinds of different auditions, musicals, stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you've participated in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the biggest one that I've done in my high school career for theater musicals is Beauty and the Beast. So I had my theater director who sent me out with other students in my Studio A class to go attend to this workshop where we get a chance to audition for a musical performance there for 2 nights. So basically, it was just me and some of my good friends down there. We went to Florida. We stayed there for a good week. It was very exciting, very nice, but also kind of nerve wracking too because we got a chance to audition for one of the big deals, especially for Disney World. But then, deep down in my head, I wanted to be an extra because clearly I thought, I was like, there's no way in hell that I would fit the role as, I guess, the Beast or Gaston. So I was like, you know what? It's going to be cool. I'm going to be an extra Baker's Workshop in the opening bell song. And that is like literally my goal in my head. Even though my friends wanted to be like, oh, I really hope I get a call back for the Beast or something, or Gaston, because those are like the big iconic characters in the Disney film. So then we went through that process where there was a lot of people. I think it was around a good 180, around like that kind of audition with males and females all together. We all sang the opening song. We all had our own numbers as well on the chest, so that way the casting director recognized us. But he put us into at least 5 or 6 people in the group. So we sang the opening bell song, and he was walking around. I was doing my thing, and then later on, he was like, "Okay, so I'm gonna call your numbers, and if your number is called, please stand up." And so he called my number. So I stand up and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to get cut and I'm going to be an extra. Happy. So happy about that. And that was my goal. Like, honestly, I was like, yes. But then I was really confused at the same time because I saw my buddy, his name was Jared. And I was really confused because he was like the main star of our Studio A in our school. Like he was always casted as either the main character or he was known in North Carolina the best performer or the best like solo artist for the theater program. And I was really confused why he stand up. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, this is wrong. And then all of a sudden, the casting director said, okay, well, he said, well, for those of you who are not called, I need everyone to leave in this audition room right now. And that part kind of scared me. So I was like, okay, what is going on? This is not right. Like, and then all of a sudden the casting director said, well, congratulations. You guys got a call back for Gaston. And in my head, I was like, excuse me? So it was awesome. Very nerve-wracking too, because they literally gave us, right away after the callback, they gave us a good 30 minutes to memorize the song for Gaston and LeFou. And they already casted LeFou, which was cool. So then that way LeFou, the actor, gets to work with each callback Gastons, potential Gastons.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, I studied the song for a good 30 to 45 minutes in the green room. Had no plan at all in my head on what to do. Just literally memorize the song and sing in front of the producers and then the cast director. That's it. That's all I need to worry about. So then, I walked on stage where there was at least, I think, 9 to 10 people that got a call back. And I was the shortest one. And I was the only Asian guy in the callback audition. So it was pretty nerve-wracking. I was really confused at the same time. But thankfully I auditioned for it last. So they put me last in the numbers. And so, I went on stage and looked at all the producers and then the cast director. And the cast director, he was like, well, welcome back, Maverick. Congratulations to having a callback for Gaston. And he was like, tell me how you feel. And then I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't see this coming. I was hoping to audition for the Baker's Workshop, be part of the Baker's Workshop, just passing bread and singing my heart away for Belle. Cool, right? And then, everyone started laughing. And I was like, okay, cool. I just gave him a good first impression. And the casting director was like, well, whenever you're ready, Maverick. And I was like, okay, awesome. So, I even told the casting I was really nervous at the same time. I was like, well, this is out of my comfort level. So letting you guys know I'm a tenor. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear my voice. There's no way Gaston, again, he is bass. I just want to make sure. And they're like, the casting was, yeah, we're well aware of your voice and all. I was like, okay, awesome. So then I just turned around and then the music cued and then I just did my own thing where I just flex and then pretend there's a mirror I had holding in my hand, looking at myself, my own reflection and all. And then, I finished the audition. And then at the end of the day, I felt really good about it. Because again, I think it was more of making the producers and then the whole team laugh because of what I just said earlier. So the first impression. But yeah, at the end of the day, they announced and they were like, yeah, congratulations. Gaston is Maverick. And I was like, well, holy crap. Okay. So it was nice. It was really, really cool. I get to perform for 2 nights, one during the day and then one at night. And it was a really great experience. And then after that, I went home and talked to my theater director, and he heard about me getting casted for Gaston to get to perform for 2 nights. And he was like, yeah, this he's let me know that this could potentially, be one of my careers. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember hearing that story for the first time, and it blew my mind. And it's always fun to like hear fond memories of kind of like what got a person started in the trajectory of their life in a way. But like that's not the only thing you've auditioned for. Like you've auditioned for really, really cool things. Like in my mind, like that's like, not to belittle that, but like that's a cool thing. But auditioning to be a Power Ranger, like
Yes.
that's another level in my mind. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yes, I have auditioned for Nickelodeon Power Rangers. It is the most amazing like experience ever, and definitely like one of my biggest highlights of my acting career, over being the beast for my theater experience. But yeah, I have auditioned for it 2 times. um, I auditioned, my first audition was in the year 2018. So I was 19 during that time, but I got cut on the second round. And I knew my weakness during that time. It was more of fangirling inside me, that I was like, holy crap, I'm auditioning for Power Rangers. That is amazing. I don't know what to do. I'm just like freaking out. So that was my biggest mistake. Um, like, I mean, it's a great experience again, because like, you know, for me, Power Rangers was my childhood. I'm pretty sure that there's a majority of the people that are into comics and video games and pop culture things that love Power Rangers.
I remember when it first came out, I was in kindergarten, like the very first season. Like,
Yeah, Mighty Morphin. Oh my
yeah,
god.
oh yeah, it was awesome. Please continue though. Yeah.
But yeah, so Power Rangers was a big deal. Adults watch it too, okay? But yeah, so I've auditioned for it, and it was from good friends who hit me up. He happened to be one of my stunt coordinators, and he told me, he was like, "Hey, you should audition for Power Rangers." And I had a friend um, that he auditioned with me as well. But you know, in the very beginning, I wasn't, you know, really down to audition at first, because I was like, okay, that sounds really tough, you know. I don't think that would be suitable for me. And then a bunch of my friends like, no, I think you look like a Power Ranger. Like I just have this weird eye or something. And then
Maybe you're
my
just not quite as tall as a normal Power
yeah,
Ranger.
and my best friend was like, "Are you kidding me? Like Power Rangers is our childhood, dude. Like I'm gonna audition for it," and he did. And then so, you know, within I guess 24 hours, I just hit up my stunt coordinator. I was like, "Hey, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and audition for it. Just why not?" And then we made the fight choreography the next day. It was last minute, literally the last minute, and yeah, in 2018, I passed the first round, and my buddy didn't. So then I made to the second round, to the part where it was script reading, which was cold reading the first um, whatever they handed us. So I read that. I didn't make it. Uh, so because again, that was my first audition, and I was really nervous, especially the whole, you know, Power Rangers deal with your childhood. So then later on, you know, we had a good 2 year, well, a year and a half of a break, because of the fact that the season runs within, I think, a year and a half. And then after that, that's when a new season come in, means new set of Power Rangers. So then 2020, which was last year, I got a phone call from my stunt coordinator. He was like, "Hey, check your email." He's pretty much kind of like my agent. So I checked my email. I was like, "Holy crap, Power Rangers are back up now." So then, you know, I watched my old videotapes, and I was like, okay, I need to make sure how to improve better than I was last time. I definitely had a lot of stunt experience back then, way back before back then. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this again. And what was really cool about it was that some of the people who see me audition for it, they recognized me, especially from the casting team. It was really cool. Um, well, didn't want to give too much details, but I passed the first round, and then later on, it just got into many callbacks. Had a lot of phone calls from the casting director, which was one of the most insane thing ever. Funny story. I was actually, when I had my callback, this is actually from, to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, I think I am very close to the final round, or I am pretty much on board, but not to the part where I have to do the whole contract signing, all that kind of deal. So I basically was sitting in my car with two of my good friends that are part of Street Nerds team, film team, and we're just doing our own thing, trying to go get some stuff for costumes. And we went to lunch. We came back, and I had a phone call, and it was in San Diego, California. And in my head, I was like, "Oh wow, San Diego, California phone call. that's probably just some random like advertisement or something.
Spam.
Yeah, exactly. And then my buddy Phil, he was like, I don't know, Mav. Like, you might want to check, dude. Like, it could be something. And this is like one of the most funniest thing I will never forget ever during this process. I called the phone number, and I said, and keep in mind we were in a car and it was really kind of loud because the engine, and we were in the highway, and so I was like, hello, and then this lady, she was like, hi, this is casting, and I said, I'm sorry, who is this? She was like, this is casting. I said, casting for what? And then all of a sudden she started laughing. This is casting for Power Rangers. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I will be honest with you, I'm in the car right now. She was like, no, it's all good. Da, 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 da. And then, she was really excited. It was the casting director, Iris Hampton. So I was really thrilled to hear her voice, because I was like, holy crap, this is the person who literally gave me the opportunity and to be able to just contact, like she is the lady who knows the old Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So it was shocking to me, and it was such a huge honor just to have that little couple of, I guess, 15 or 20 minutes like conversation with her.
Yeah.
And I can't give much details because I'm not really sure now if I can
Right.
with the audition process. But all I can say was that during that time, they were really satisfied with my audition, that they wanted to move me forward and move me to close to almost to the final round, where I could potentially be, packing my clothes and ready to go to New Zealand for 9 months.
Wow.
And I was freaking out after that phone call. I hear all my friends in the car were like, leaning close to my phone. They're like, oh my gosh, it's her voice. And then, they freaked out after we, like, literally after I ended the call. I was like, okay. And, she talked to me. She's like, hey, so I need you to just want to make sure that you da 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 da. I'm like, yeah. I'll make sure we'll get that. I'll get that done, and then I'll see you there. And after that, end the call. And then literally, once I ended the call, I literally screamed like a girl. Like, I was like, ah! And then my friends were screaming next to me. And then one of the guys behind me was shaking the car, like backseat of my car, like crazy. And I could have sworn like the person who was like driving next to us, like in the next lane, was looking at us like we're crazy or something.
Justifiably so, I would imagine.
Yes. So yeah, I was really thrilled, and I went home and I told my mom. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, like I think I need to get my passport as soon as possible. And we were prepared for everything until, I think 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks before they announced who are the Power Rangers, which is Morphicon. I get a message that I didn't make the call. I didn't make the casting area. So but I was, deep down, like when I heard that, I was like, man, that really sucks, because I was really, really close. And there were so many people, especially the Power Ranger fan community and the nation, or they call it the Power Ranger Nation. They were really supporting with my audition, because I think it was my audition tape for Dino Fear. That's their current season right now. There was a lot of like fans that were saying, oh my gosh, I hope this guy gets, like, I hope he becomes like the first Asian Red Ranger. And that was actually my goal. Like, I wanted to be the Red Ranger.
Yeah, well, the really cool thing is like 2018, you made it to the second round.
Yeah.
2020, like you got to almost the finals, like, right?
Mhm.
2022, right?
Yeah, 2022. Hopefully it is. I hope it is my year.
We talked about some of like your beginning stuff, and now some of your more advanced stuff. And now I want to hear about some of the stuff you've created. And you do have a new series coming out in the next couple months or so, Argent Assassin.
Right.
Could you expand on that and tell us a little bit about what you're doing in that project?
So, Argent Assassin, I have created this project. Well, I turned it into a series, a web series that hopefully, one day it'll be an actual television show aired by a network. that's what we're trying to do. Hopefully down the line for Netflix and Hulu. But yeah, Argent Assassin is basically a supernatural action series. It is based on ninjas and werewolves. I get that a lot of people have been asking me like, okay, like Argent Assassin sounds really cool. What is it about? And it's so funny to like tell them, like, I'm like, okay, it's about ninjas and werewolves, and then they're like, wait, what? Like ninjas and werewolves? Like, which side are you picking on? But all I can tell you, but it's a action, supernatural action film. So I'd rather say that than a ninjas and werewolves series. But it's based about two boys named Kai and Kiba Win. Hopefully those two characters, well, I believe that those two characters are in our show are the first Vietnamese American in the East to ever create that character by race and all. Because I've never actually seen a Vietnamese character like that stars in their own series or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about those two boys where they start off with their mom, which mom, protects the two child from a werewolf. And so the werewolf killed the mom passed away. But the two boys were saved by a ninja assassin. His name is Talon. And Talon is the guy who is the council of the clan who creates, like a whole group or a team to extinct werewolves, which that is their goal. So they train. So he, adopted Kai and Kiba, and then the two boys are basically, the best ninjas assassin in the clan. And in that clan, they have they so-called guardian and protector of the clan, or their successor, which is an Argent Assassin. So it's kind of like the Avatar from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's passed down through many generations. Same goes for the Argent Assassin. It's been passed down through many generations. In order to become an Argent Assassin, you have to be the best in the ranks, which is by killing as many werewolves as you can. And so, Kai becomes the Argent Assassin, which I play Kai.
Spoiler alert! Come on.
Alert, yeah. But yeah, move fast and forward. Kai is very arrogant. He's very cocky. He's he's that kind of guy. He's kind of like Bruce Wayne, low key.
So what you're telling me is you had to act really, really hard for this role, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I really did. But it is actually like really fun because it's not like in my personal like acting ground or something. Because I always play. Well, majority of the characters I played in my early years in theater is always the prince or something sweet. Nice knight in shining armor. And then later on, I became revengeful characters, playing revengeful characters. But yes, Kai is kind of revengeful because his mother passed away, but deep down he's very arrogant, kind of like Thor. And it got himself into that situation on his first mission as an Argent Assassin. That's all I can say. Gotcha. And I'm pretty sure people are already aware of what's going on from my social media on what happened to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna let that be. So you just got to find out what happens in episode 1, which nice. I think our goal is to release in March, but this weekend we're pretty much wrapped up awesome. With so 1 and 2. So that's crazy.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And that'll be premiering or showing on your YouTube channel, correct?
Correct. Yes, it'll be showed on YouTube.
Now, we haven't talked about this before, but I kind of want to talk to you about, you're talking about how your characters are Vietnamese, and you're hoping that this is kind of the first Eastern opportunity for, a main character to be of Vietnamese descent, right? So, right. Like, tell us a little bit about your background and how have you kind of implemented it into your own work, and how have you made it important, or maybe push it a little bit so that it's more relevant for the things you do?
So putting a Vietnamese character in the series, I wanted to do it from the very beginning because, again, I'm Vietnamese American, so I was born in California. So I wanted to inspire a lot of kids, especially Asian Americans or Asians to be part of this, and also to have a little inspiration and watch a lot of shows and be like, wow, this is really unique because I've never seen a Vietnamese character that is like as a hero, um, but also for us, there isn't a lot of opportunities, especially for Asian Americans, for especially in the Hollywood industry, or especially for kids, having hope or belief that they think it's a tough job for them. And I want to be able to inspire them and be like, hey, not everything what you're doing just because you're Vietnamese or you're Asian, that you have to go to the to become a doctor or become a lawyer. It's that kind of deal. But I wanted to create this just to inspire kids to be like, hey, not just Asians or Vietnamese Americans or anything else. It can be for everybody, any kid. That anything can be possible. I mean, if this is your dream, if this is what you want to do, just do it. Just follow it. And that's what Street Nerds. That's the reason why I've created Street Nerds, is to inspire kids. That anything can be possible as long as you put your heart and passion to work. And definitely Argent Assassin will be a huge deal as well, especially it's aiming towards Asian descent, but also Vietnamese American, much more. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do from the very beginning, especially for Argent Assassin.
Yeah, and what I've noticed from the Street Nerd production stuff that you guys have put out is, the group that you surround yourself with is a very diverse group. Like, and that's one of the things I've really enjoyed about it is, like a lot of times you like, not you, but like people in general tend to gravitate towards people they have similarities towards, which is kind of unfortunate in my perspective. But it's really amazing to see the diversity and the culture that you guys have assembled as a team. You have, yourself as being Vietnamese, you have Caucasian people, you have Black Americans, you have such a wonderful group that you guys surround yourself with. And that's one of the things that I applaud you for, because it's not easy to do. And in some places it is harder to do because you don't have that kind of diversification. But where you're at in North Carolina, the Triangle area, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, like you do have a lot more diversity in that. And so it's really cool to see a group of young people doing that and inspiring. You guys are young, but inspiring an even younger generation to be able to do similar things. And so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. So
yeah, absolutely. Sorry everybody, we just did a quick clip and we were having some echo issues, so we put some headphones in and we should be resolved. Now, continuing on, I'm actually wanting to jump into our this or that questions. And so for those of you that haven't watched this before, these I ask some kind of general goofy questions, sometimes serious questions, and kind of like, would you rather only do this or only do that kind of thing? And typically it goes along the lines of our guests and what, their interests are and whatnot. So who is your favorite Robin?
Oh my gosh, who is my favorite Robin? Okay, so I'm gonna have to be really, really biased. I love the Red Hood, even though I did play the Red Hood in our Street Nerds DC universe. The reason why I love the Red Hood was because, again, like he got a cool comeback story, got killed by a Joker, boo-hoo. We all hate the Joker, right? He should have been long gone, dead. but no, I just like the Red Hood because he always have a second chance, and he didn't be, before he became a sidekick, but now he's just a whole totally different person, a leader, especially forming the Red Hood and the Outlaws with Starfire, Arsenal, and then later on with Bizarre and Artemis, literally their own Justice League. But it's like the dark Justice League. But yeah, no, I definitely love Jason Todd with his whole vengeance kind of deal. He's an anti-hero, and yeah, screw Batman.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's stellar. Yeah, whenever I think about all the Robins, it's like there are so many, and even at this point, I don't pay close enough attention to the DC universe to know like how many there are, or how, like, which one they're on now, or like which one is, you know, still canon or not, and stuff like that. So I to me, I think the coolest Robin was his biological son, the one he had with what's her face from the Lazarus.
Was it Talia al Ghul with
Yes.
Damian Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was kind of the coolest to me. But of course, you always go back to is it Dick Grayson? Um,
Right.
the,
Everyone loves Dick Grayson. Look, I get it. He's an acrobat. He's a pretty boy. We don't want no pretty boys in these streets.
yeah, he's the OG Robin, correct?
Yes, he is the OG Robin. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So if you could only do one of them, which one would it be? Would it be Power Rangers or Naruto?
So like making a film wise or
Anything. If one of them ceased to exist, which one would you prefer to keep?
oh my gosh. Man, that's tough because you see Power Rangers was my childhood, but then after that was Naruto. It's all, well, look, both of them are all the way till now. I'm still a fan of Power Rangers. You can tell if you look at the room. I got Naruto over here with Sasuke and the Uchiha boys, and then to my like left, which is your right, it is Power Ranger stuff.
Oh, is it? I've
Yeah,
been
it is.
wondering since we've been talking, like, what are those posters of? And
Yeah, I can't raise the desktop, but if I raise it a little bit, you can see it's a Green Ranger right there. That's Tommy.
oh, okay.
But man, that's really tough. Oh wow. You have to put me down. You have to put me on the spot, huh? Okay. I would say Naruto because I feel like I mean I love anime so much more than superhero itself. I'm sorry, fam. But yeah, I would have to go with Naruto because I feel like it has more meaning, like deeper meaning than Power Rangers. Like, look, Power Rangers have great, like, lesson, like kids lesson, all that, But Naruto has a very, very, very deep connection with like throughout life and personal stuff. Never give up. Same goes for Power Ranger, but Naruto has more impact than Power Rangers. But yeah, I would have to go with Naruto.
Nice. Gotcha. Would you rather be a Jedi Master or a Sith Lord?
Oh man. Wow. I guess I'd rather be a Sith Lord. I mean, they're totally like badass. Look, I love playing all these revenge characters, and I'm pretty good at it. But yeah, Sith Lords all the way because they're just so cool, and I can't take all the hate, the anger, and the revenge. I need that. I need to let it go. I can't keep it contained to myself as a Jedi Master.
I get it. Yeah, no, like your guys is for those of you that haven't seen the Mavericks Instagram page anyways, make sure to go check it out because they have a lot of really cool short clips of like just all the different productions that they do, and one of them they've done a couple Jedi versus Sith Lord kind of combats, and I've really enjoyed the choreographies you guys have done with those, and it's always fun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's always fun to see how people do their CG lightsabers differently, and your guys' was really awesome. Let's dive into that a little bit since we're on the topic. What, like, your guys' post-production work, like when you guys are doing all the different CG and special effects and stuff like that, like what are some of the processes that you guys go through to do that?
Oh wow, it's a lot. So basically, going through the steps, we have to review all the footage. And then, after that, we put them all together, pick which one is the best shots or the best take. We put them all together. And then throughout that process, we do the color grading. We have to color grade the footages to make it look nice. And then after that process, we have to do the CG, the visual effects and all. And then the last but not least, the sound. And then that pretty much contains the whole thing with the whole process of during the post. But yeah, it's a lot. But I will tell you this, Star Wars is really, really heavy. It is a lot of work. It's really, really fun. We had Darth Vader in there, which was crazy and amazing. To catch things up, we're still in the process of editing Star Wars, especially the visual effects. It is very, very heavy, but I promise you guys, it is really good and you guys can really enjoy it. And our editing team has been working really, really hard. So yeah, it's called Star Wars: The Chosen One.
Yep, and that was what I remember from your Instagram post. It was really good. Like I really enjoyed it, and of course for me, I was I guess technically an adult. I was like 19, 18, 19, 20 when the animated series of the Clone Wars came out, and I like fell in love, and I still love it to this day. It took me a little bit to get into Star Wars Rebels,
Yeah.
but like once you get it, several episodes in, like you're hooked. And if you're a huge fan of The Mandalorian and all the stuff that Disney's doing now, yeah, like it's relevant. Like you need to know what happens in Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars to pick up on a lot of stuff that was like, wait, who's this character? And who's this character? Like what happened here? Like I thought they died, or stuff like that. And so like you had no idea how important the animated series are. And you're talking about Anakin Skywalker, and to
Yes.
me, I think of General Skywalker, like
Yes,
because of the Clone Wars. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And that's like, that to me is like, oh yes, like when you say Anakin, like I think Clone Wars, and that's my favorite part. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. And continuing on, you're talking about, it's like, people have been asking like, oh, we did this thing but we haven't seen it yet or whatever. What's like the timeline for like shooting and doing like maybe perhaps script writing into shooting into like post-production to releasing? Like what, because every once in a while I'll see things on your Instagram where you'll do like a 1 minute clip of the stuff that you're working on, but then we may not see the YouTube videos for X amount of time. Like like what's the timeline for things like that look like?
So
And,
timelines for let's say per film, right? Let's start with short films. Short films would take a good amount, about like 3 or 4 months in the process of like writing wise, and then filming it would be like literally 4 days, 2 or 4 days, which is really small. But the editing process would take about a good 3 or 4 weeks, so about a month or so. But feature films takes a long time. Feature films would take a good about maybe possibly almost half a year, which we never have done. No, we have done, which is Naruto. Naruto was a good feature film. That literally took us half a year for sure, or more. But the other short films that we've done, or films, or episodes of the web series, it would take us a good amount, like 3 or 4 months in the process to finish it up and then release it. So yeah.
Gotcha. And all of that stuff is released to the Street Nerd Production YouTube channel, correct? Or is there somewhere else that goes to?
So basically, all of our fan films will be in the Street Nerds channel. But for the first time, Argent Assassin will probably be very, very different. It will be posted in YouTube as well, but hopefully down the line, we get a Netflix contract and a Hulu contract with them, because we're planning to pitch our ideas. Once season 1 is fully finished, we plan to pitch it to Hulu and Netflix, and hopefully we're going to be on it there. And But it's cool as well that that series is also going to be turned into a comic book as well, and it's going to be selling into like local comic book stores like Ultimate Comics. And so I wish I could tell you guys like a lot of things, but I can't because okay, so
You don't want to spoil anything.
I can't. The thing is, okay, what's crazy about it is that we finished filming. We finished filming Argent Assassin, the first 2 episodes. So episode 1 is called Awaken, and episode 2 is called Beauty and the Beast. Haha, Beauty and the Beast.
It comes full circle.
It comes full circle. Look, there goes romance. So I got a chance to finish writing episode 3 and 4, almost 4, but I got to share some of my actors or some of the cast and crews that were part of Argent Assassin, and they read it and they were really, really shocked on what's going on. But it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on. All I can say is you guys are gonna be really excited. Probably gonna have some few heart attacks if you guys follow the story and the episode. But yeah, that's pretty much about it about Argent Assassin.
Cool.
But definitely, like once we release it, there will be some cool things like featuring music videos as well, because we do have some music artists that has their soundtrack to be part of Argent Assassin, which
Nice.
Argent Assassin will have their own soundtrack that will be officially on Spotify. So we're so excited about that. So if you feel like you watched one episode and you hear like, oh my gosh, that soundtrack sounds really cool, let me go listen to it. It'll be on Spotify. So
Nice. And is that under Street Nerd Productions as well?
Correct. But it's going to be on mostly this music artist named Elise Corson. But you'll see like an album cover that has the title Argent Assassin.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about before we get out of here is your choreography and your martial arts and stuff like that. Like, tell us a little bit about how you got into that, because that wasn't the first thing that came around for, your skill set for acting and, fan fiction production and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about that and why you kind of picked it up and how you got to where you are now.
So fight choreography. Again, back in high school, I started theater musical. But then our theater director, he invited a special guest, which she is a stunt coordinator for Batman: The Dark Knight. And she taught us some couple of stage fight combats, and I started learning it, and then I done my demonstration for her. And then later on, she pulled me over after class and was like, hey, like you should definitely try to get into the action movies or the action industry. And that's when, in my head, I was like, you know what, I should definitely try that. And I don't have any belt rank, but I've learned under a few talented martial artists, such as Stephanie Fausto and Murray Havecock, and then Sean Thompson, and then Brian Griffin, which each of them have their own different martial art aspects, but also they have given me a lot of inspiration through the martial art aspect, and be able to take that upon to the film industry and throughout my whole audition process, which that's how I actually got my callbacks as well for Nickelodeon Power Rangers. So yeah, I like to thank them that they helped me through this journey. So yeah.
That's awesome. And it was really cool to see. I don't know how you end up collaborating with all the people that you do in your videos, but it seems like a lot of them either already have some martial arts stunt work that they already know, or have developed it since if they started learning it because they're working with you, or like how that works. Like how did you come in contact with so many people that have the martial arts experience as well as the acting, or the passion for acting and stuff like that? Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, were they in the martial arts, or were they into acting, or did they just happen to do both?
They happened to do both. So it started off with it actually started off with Brian. He was a Toshindo master. And he wasn't into acting at all. He was just more of into the martial art aspects. But I met him, and I told him that I really wanted to train and understand and be able to use this method for film. And he really tried his best to learn that as well. So it's like a whole learning process for him as well. But then later on, it got me to introduce to with Sean Thompson. He was a Taekwondo martial artist.
Is he TKD Sean?
TKD Sean, yeah.
Okay.
TKD _Sean. So yeah, he's one of our stunt coordinators for StreetNerds Productions. And so basically after that, it was all connections with other different martial arts teachers or actors or stunt actors. So yeah, that's how I've learned that process of becoming a stunt martial artist or a stunt actor myself.
Yeah. That's awesome, and it's always cool to see you guys practicing your choreography and rehearsing, and even the final productions of all that stuff. It's really cool and always enjoyable to watch. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. Mavrick, please tell us where can everybody find you on your social media pages?
You can find me on Instagram, which is Mavrick Vo. Or if you guys want to check out the films that we have done in the past, just go to YouTube, StreetNerds Productions, StreetNerds 2 words together, Productions. You can find us, or if you want to look at Naruto Evolution, just easy type Naruto Evolution to find us from there. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. We do have a Facebook as well, same go, StreetNerds Productions. And yeah, stay tuned for Argent Assassin. That's
yeah, awesome.
We're very, very excited. So yeah, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you were here. And so again, for those of you that haven't, please make sure to subscribe to both my YouTube channel, which is Oakley Does Everything, as well as my Instagram page is Oakley Does Everything. And I did recently start a TikTok page, which has all the same stuff that I post on Instagram. So if you have TikTok but not Instagram, Oakley Does Everything. And of course, if you're coming from my channel, make sure to go hit up Street Nerd or Nerds?
Yes, Street Nerds.
Okay, Street Nerd Productions, yeah. Both through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course Mavrick Vo. And you can find out more about him and all the people he works with on his Instagram page. He always posting update stuff, and it's always enjoyable to watch. So thank you, Mavrick. I very much appreciate it. It was a blast. Viewers, thank you very much for watching. We very much appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. Leave a comment, and especially maybe give some suggestions of fanfics that you might want to see in the future. So I'm sure they're always open to suggestions. So, but other than that, we're going to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great one.
Awesome. Thank you. See ya.
All right. Bye. That's it. We're done.
Yay! That was okay, that was a really good interview, but it's so challenging too, because I was looking at this, I was looking at the live, and I was like, oh wait, I totally forgot. I have to talk to this one to the Zoom call.
Well, yeah, I saw you looking down for a while, and I'm like,
look up, and I was like, oh yeah, hey guys. So yeah. A lot, this show isn't, just to let you guys know, this show isn't all for just the guys. It's going to be all as well for the girls. We got romance in there.
Or guys that like romance.
Or guys that like romance.
Or women that like
violence
that
like action.
And
violence, yes. Either or, But she pulled me over and she was like, hey, you should definitely try to be part of an action movie industry, because I feel like that's more suitable for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so,
that's
so